Here we are with another. Hello and welcome to another. God, this is a terrible intro. Hello and welcome to another benefit of the Doud review. I am your host, Adam Doud, and joining me as always is Mr. Cliff Thomas. Cliff, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. This is
excellent.
I guess our second review.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to count that first one, but yeah, second one back from hiatus. We're doing okay. Yeah, Cliff is here to take us through a device that he has been testing out mob boss style for the last couple of weeks. So I will throw it on over to. I will throw it on over to Cliff and to get us started. What are we looking at today, Cliff?
Today we are looking at the RingConn. You know what? I'm just going to remove the wedding ring.
I was going to say, you might want to take that off so people know which one we're talking about.
A little tight on my finger there, boy. Maybe loaded. Must be that time.
I can show mine in the meantime, but
also, actually, that's cool because you and I
have different colors.
Yeah, very cool.
So
yes, we are reviewing the RingConn Smart Ring, not to be confused with the RingConn Smart Ring 2. If I say RingConn, like King Kong, forgive me. I don't know why. My brain just wants to do that.
Oh, doesn't it? Don't you hate when that happens? Like your brain just decides this is how I'm going to say something,
right? And
it's wrong, but
it just that's the way it comes out. Even though I know this in my head, but anyway, yeah. So RingConn was nice enough to send us their current smart ring, which is something that I'll just have it up here, and where it is on my hand is a funny story that we'll talk about. But I have been interested in just purchasing a smart ring forever, and it's nice now because for the longest time, Aura Ring was really the only game in town, and competitors have come up with different advantages, benefits, and cons. See, I can say con by itself. I just can't say RingConn.
Right.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Right.
To them, and I really like the combination of stuff that RingConn has. Before we actually look at the hardware, we'll just kind of talk about it. So I have what I thought was the correct size, which is a size 10. Which I went back and looked at this wedding ring because I had to order a replacement wedding ring probably 4 years ago. And it was a size 10 from whoever. I think I got it. That doesn't matter. Amazon. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So that's what I based sizing my ring on, instead of getting like a sizing kit from RingConn and going that way. And it turns out that the size 10 from this is not even close.
Now
only fits on my pinky ring.
Hang on. Let's give some credit.
By saying this, I'm not blaming RingConn.
Let's give some credit where it's due, because when you said, so I've been working with RingConn for a few months now. I did a review of this RingConn ring, which is the same one that Cliff has. I did a review for this for Slash Gear, and so I was the one who knew the RingConn people, and I got it onto the podcast and did all that stuff. So I asked Cliff, "What's your ring size?" And he said size 10. I said, "There is no fucking way you're a size 10." And he's like, "No, I'm a size 10. Totally. That's my wedding ring." I'm like, "There is no way you are." You know what you should do? You should go to a jeweler. You should go to a jeweler and just, "Hey, I need to test what ring size am I? Can you help me out?" Because that's what I did when I got my RingConn. Actually, when I got the circular ring, but that's a different conversation. I went to a jeweler and they said, I need to know my ring size. And so they pulled out their little thing of rings and they said, "Oh, you're size 13, Mr. Sausage Fingers." And I said, "Yes, thank you." And I left and I told them size 13 and bada bing, bada boom, here we are. So I said, "Cliff, you should probably go check with a jeweler." No, I'm a size 10. I know for a fact I'm a size 10.
I believe you said, "Are you sure?" And I said, 95% sure.
Are you sure? Sure.
Right,
so I told the RingConn people size 10. They said okie dokie, and it shows up at Cliff's store, and he's like, "Yeah, so I'm not a size 10." And I'm like,
I was very mad at myself, but at this point,
and so
Adam
and so he's like, "It fits on my pinky." I'm like, "Well, then you're gonna be a mob boss in the next week and a half, I guess, Cliff, because that's what we need to do here, bud." So yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that you were warned.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is totally my fault. I just and here's the thing. Like I've actually had like a mental revelation that I think when I got my wedding ring back in 2007. Anyway, I was a size 12.
Okay.
Which seems accurate now.
Seems a little bit closer to the
closer to And I don't have sausage fingers. I've got like probably the most like average finger length like
sure
and, like,
but you're a bigger guy, so
exactly.
and with this comes this. That's just kind of how it works. So and as it turns out, I went to go another competitor of RingConn launched a ring recently, and I was sized it for that too. And I am still a size 13, so I'm a size 13 in smart rings as well as other rings. So although RingConn, we should probably mention this now, RingConn does mention on their website that their sizes are not the same as US sizes, so you're encouraged to ask for a sizing kit.
That's right.
Which is free.
Right. So, which is actually something I wasn't sure of. I think it's Aura who asks you to purchase the sizing kit, and then they roll that cost once you actually order your ring back into at least that's the way it was a couple of years ago. They roll that cost of your sizing kit back into the cost of the ring itself.
And so what we have learned is Cliff really should have asked for the ring sizing.
Yes, that's the. But while we're talking about their site, which does talk about, it's so embarrassing. But you know what? It's okay. You know, I'm fine.
It's fine.
I don't mind being being a mob boss.
Hell yeah. You know, I gotta say
here.
Back in my college days, I would wear a ring on every other finger, like on both hands. So, like, I'm familiar with the pinky ring.
Oh, I've never. I remember how cool it was. I used to have like the leather strap that just went around your.
You had a strap?
I had a strap.
Okay, Delay Patel, that's pretty awesome.
I did, and I also had an earring. So how times
did you?
Changed.
Okay,
I was, you're
such a rebel.
I was a lead singer of a band. I had to look the part back in the day.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That didn't last too long. But anyway, so what we have here is RingConn's website. And as you can see, normally $279.99. And I think it was actually $50 off at some point, probably for Father's Day.
Yeah,
I remember seeing ads for that, thanks to Cookies. And they offered in 3 different colorways: the silver, that you have on your ring, the black, the midnight black, which is what I have, and then a gold. So kind of your standard. I was actually really hoping that I got the black, so I was happy when I received it. Not so much for the size of it, but for the fact that it was the color that I wanted. So
right,
2/3 of the way there, and so not much else to show you here except that's what the charging case looks like. You'll see that in just a minute because I am going to go. I guess. Before I go to that, though, I'm gonna pop us. Let's see. Hide on stream. Yeah, that works.
There we go.
But here is the charging case, just for comparison, which you'll see on camera in just a minute. But so I've had this for like 3 weeks, 2 of which I basically have been using it. I was, if you listen to our last podcast, I was down in. You'll know that I was house sitting, so I was down on a farm. And I didn't bring it with me just because it was just one other thing that I was afraid I was going to lose if I took it down there, because I, along with my wife, both have I don't know if you guys have this in your family, but at least one of my family members will always leave one thing at the place that I go to visit. It's inevitable. Like it'll be my daughter with her pillow, or my wife with like her glasses cleaner or something. Just something always gets left. Or a stuffed animal. And that's why I was worried that I would leave like the charging case down there. Anyway, so I've been using it for 2 weeks, more than enough time to, to get some literal hands-on time with it.
Sure.
And so
on hands time.
On hands time. There you go. I know it's hands-on time. It's the same. Anyway, what I like about a RingConn, number one, it's one of the more affordable options out there compared to and including Samsung's newly released Galaxy Ring competitor, which we just saw comes out at around $400.
Right.
So this is considerably more affordable, really around what a typical like average smartwatch will cost you. And one of the things I was really excited about getting a smart ring for, what really appeals to me about it, besides the battery life, which is, according to RingConn, about a week, which I have found is spot on. I found it 7 to 8 days. You know, if it's on the 8th day, it's down to like 10%. So, but it's just the fact that I'm much more comfortable. I don't always wear a watch, especially when I'm doing something like sleep tracking. I have done it just to test smart watches, but I'm much more comfortable just like physically, like my body just likes having a ring on and not having to worry about the watch. So this is almost just something that I'm wearing every day anyway. You don't really have to think about it because it just wirelessly syncs. And then you just charge it every week instead of every day or every other day, depending on which smartwatch you're talking about. It's just, in so many ways, gives me the health metrics that I want without having to think about it too much.
Yeah.
And we should mention,
very cool.
Right. And I don't remember the IP rating that this has, but I know it's water resistant up to like, I think it's like 3 meters, something like that.
Yeah, probably.
I've showered with it on, washed dishes with it on, all that good stuff, and it's been totally fine. And this is a titanium ring that's also got a black finish on it. I haven't had any, especially because I've actually had on my other, trying to point here, you can even see where my ring was. These kind of click together every once in a while, and even where they've been clicking, I haven't had the finish wear off or anything like that. So it's tough. Just in normal wear.
Yeah,
which
totally.
is good to see.
I have found the same thing. I've even like gone so far as to like spill gasoline in my hands, and it has affected the. Now I have been told if that does happen, it's best to rinse it off and then let it, and then dry it off. Don't let it air dry.
Right.
Because then residue gets left behind and bad things can start to happen. So
yeah, I can totally see that happening for sure.
Yeah,
and also because this is titanium, super light, like compared to my ring, which I believe is just stainless steel. I mean, this is way lighter than the ring, or way heavier. It just the feeling on my hand.
What was
the
the weight on it again? I don't. Was it like 3 grams? I mean, it was super light.
Super light. You know what? Let's go. Let's trying to find the specs on here. Maybe
3 to 5 grams, depending on ring size.
Grams. Yeah, that definitely depends on the size of it. I would, since mine is literally in the middle of the sizing, I'm guessing it's probably about 4.
And it is compatible. It's worth mentioning. It's also compatible with Apple Health and Google Fit. So that's a big plus there.
Which I'll show you with the RingConn app. There we go again. RingConn.
Yep.
RingConn app, which I'll show you just because I do have it integrated with Google Fit. Something else that's really nice before I show you the hardware, because a lot of smartwatches, especially for Android, like Android Wear watches, you can't just move from device to device. And I've been able to move. Everything is like stored in the firmware, as far as like if I've been using this for a week and then I want to move it to another phone, everything is stored on it. So you just install the app, connect it with Bluetooth, it automatically tries to pair with your phone.
That's cool. I haven't actually tried that, so I'm glad you did.
It's great. So yeah, it's very portable. That's something that most people aren't going to really run into that much, but for the things that we do, because we're testing different phones, or maybe we just like to move between different phones, it's something that you can do. So I love that about it.
Next Doubting Thomas, which, by the way, subscribers, we've brought back Doubting Thomas for patrons. So next Doubting Thomas, remind me to tell you how I figured a workaround for that. So because I did.
Is it Google Drive? I'm just guessing.
No.
Like export your fitness information and then
we'll talk.
We'll talk later about it. It'll be fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and show Slappy the review cam.
Yeah. Hello, Slappy.
Mega drag to reorder. No. Why cooperate with me, Slappy? What? It says hide on stream, but I don't see us.
Yeah, I don't see us either, but
what's going on here? There we go. Let's try again. I think I just bring that up. Okay, there we go. You know what? It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. So here is the ring, which you've already seen on my hand, but just for comparison's sake, here's my hand next to it. Yeah, great. Let's see if I can show you up close here. Here are the sensors.
The sensors on the inside. Yep.
On the inside there. No, it's completely free of branding on the outside. And again, super light. It does have sort of I call it like a squircle shape. Although not to be, but like unlike like the Aura ring, for example, it doesn't have that like that flat part on top. This honestly could be mistaken. Trying to get in a camera, could be mistaken for a wedding band. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is really
and
nice.
Actually that's the finger I wear mine on because I lost my wedding band a long time ago. So
well, if I got the right size, again, my fault.
Yep.
Then what I would also be wearing it on my ring finger. But here's the good thing is, as I was a little bit worried about, but yeah, it does work on apparently whatever finger you put it on, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't differentiate that. It does when you I know it does when you first move into it. It does ask you what hand you're going to be wearing it on. I don't know why that matters, but maybe it has something to do with the physicality of it and how it measures your activity.
Watches do that too, but
yeah, that's true. So here is the packaging. Just has this little "Know Yourself Better" card. I actually like this. It says, "Hear the story of the square and the round. Feel the symbiosis of technology and jewelry. Remember, the companion with you for 3 meals in all seasons," which really feels AI generated, but I'm not going to criticize it.
It really does. Yeah. Okay.
So
HR would like a word with you.
Here's the paperwork, which I don't think anybody really wants to see. And if I was just unboxing this for the first time, you would see the ring just kind of sitting there.
Okay.
And that's literally it. That's where the charging case would go.
Very cool.
And we'll just move all this back in here and then move the box out of the way. Bye, box.
Bye.
Bye. Charging case.
Yeah.
Which, here's what's really cool about it. And I feel like a total dweeb because I was not informed of the fact that this actually had a battery in it, which makes sense now given the size of it. So I've just had it plugged into it's USB-C cable sitting, which actually, I imagine a lot of people are just going to do that unless you travel.
Probably.
Just on your bedside next to where you charge your smartphone. That's where I've had it. But yeah, so actually this has a battery on it, or a battery inside of it. I don't know what the capacity of it is, but it's definitely going to be enough to charge it more than once, I'm guessing. But yeah, you just stick it on there. There's only one.
The charging case has 500 milliamp hours inside, capacity for 18 full charges.
I'll have to remember that. Okay, so now you can see. Well, it was there for a minute. Lets you know that it's on. It had a little blue. The LED changes to blue, and that's really cool. I like the fact.
There's a certain way that you have to set it in there, because if you set it in mine anyway, if you set it in one way, it kind of like tilts up a little bit and I think that's just to indicate, hey, you're not in there the right way. So I'll just flip it around.
This has pogo pins on the charging case, and then your contacts on the inside, and then the sensors are actually to the left and right of it inside the ring itself. And yes, so you can see there's your 2 charging contacts, and you do have to align it with and it is magnetic, which is cool. It's just you can kind of hear it clicking there, and then it charges, and it's got the Aura ring logo, which I actually do like.
The
simple
RingConn logo.
Aura ring. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? My brain just decided that I couldn't because I can't pronounce RingConn or say it. It just changed.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So that, my brain just quit. Is really. But I like the matte finish on it. This is very well constructed there, and there's no like loose bits.
Yeah, there's no moving parts or anything.
Parts, which is great. So I mean, about as close to solid state as you could get, I guess. You can see now that I've got it on my pinky finger. We'll go ahead and have it talk to the app.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's fire up. One thing I like about the app while you're bringing that up is the notifications that you get are very passive aggressive '90s mom style, where
Yes, they
like
are.
I'll get a sedentary notification, and this is the text of the notification. Even for just 1 minute, get up and move around. It'll improve your health. It's like,
It
okay,
actually
mom.
it actually feels it feels more like to me like a nurse who's being really nice. Like, you don't have to do too much, fatso. You can just get up and move around a little bit.
Just
And
you
it
can just
does.
you just walk your fat ass around for a minute. That would be great.
Exactly. It's fine. So as of now, according to this, I have 48% remaining on battery
Hmm.
for about 3 days and 8 hours. And
Okay.
then this has the app has three, let me see if I can center it here. 3 tabs on the bottom, one for me, which is your personal data, your health trends based on uh, basically an amalgamated a bunch of your data,
Right.
and then your health data for your current health data, basically since the last time that was synced.
Right.
And then if you go to data management, you can connect it to Google Fit.
Hmm.
And I'm assuming if you have it installed on Apple, it's going to allow you to do the same thing with Apple Health. You can
Right.
also export your data. I don't really know why you'd want to do that. Maybe to import it into something on your computer, just to keep track of it.
It's just a way to liberate your data. That's fine. That's actually something that
Which is nice.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of places left out of there. So just the fact that you can
Very true.
export, I think, is a
Have
plus.
access to it. I think it does say
Yeah.
it takes a few days to get it, but I'm up to date with the latest firmware. Let's see settings here. Ring settings. Oh, so here's your firmware and serial number. I am wearing the Generation 1. It even tells you your ring size. You can put it in airplane mode if you want, which is interesting. I
didn't
wonder how
bother.
many people actually do that when they get on
I
an
have
airplane.
never bothered that, but
It is kind of funny that it has that, though. All right. So you can see it has wellness balance, and then it basically just gives you a number, an arbitrary number. I guess it's like 0 to 100. I'm guessing.
yeah, I always equated it to kind of like the body battery from Garmin. It basically is just like a readiness score to tackle your day. How much sleep have you got? How much stress have you had? Stuff like that.
So you can see, because I am a fat ass who doesn't exercise very much, that my 25, I've got a 25 rating on activity. My sleep is actually better than it's been for a while at a 75. And my heart is up to 90 beats per minute. But again, if you look at my my vital signs here, my sleep and my vital signs and my stress management is not bad. However, it's just my activity on its little diagram, but it's not so happy with. I think it's actually trying to sync there. But let's see. It shows when I woke up from my nap. So go to bed, relax body and mind, and step into.
But you know what? Nap detection is actually I actually laid down for a short nap today, like a 17-minute nap, and it detected it, and which I thought was really cool because like automatic nap detection is not a given with most health devices. So I actually thought it was pretty cool that the Ring detected that I fell asleep while the Cubs were getting murdered by the Cardinals.
So it does give you quite a few different metrics, and as I mentioned before, you can export this to, or it's integrated with Google Health or Google Fit, which is kind of nice. Although, didn't I read somewhere that Google Fit is being what is it called? Going away?
Sunset? I don't
Sunsetting.
know.
That's what the word I'm. Well, I think because I've got a smartwatch that I'm reviewing as well, and the app OHealth offers the ability to integrate it with Google Fit as well, and it said something about Google Fit going away, so I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Anyway,
we'll have to look into that.
But
yeah,
there are. I should show you that if you go to data management. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Third-party app authorization. So right now it says no app authorization, but I'm guessing, having not done this, but since I'm not a runner or something like that, it's not really. But I'm guessing it can integrate into something like Strava or one of the other health services as well. Maybe Fitbit integration.
Very possibly. I don't have
possible.
that either. So I'm not really sure what that is for, to be honest.
But here's the thing, right? Like, talking about this watch, and it can be something that you use for measuring your health, but it's not. It's this really isn't in it, or your activity rather. But it's to me not something that's really marketed towards being like a fitness tracker as much as it's just your average kind of your daily fitness and it also doesn't do the things that I find annoying about some other smartwatches, like ask you to drink water or stand up and do stretches compared to like so it does have those passive aggressive messages in the software, but it's not nearly as nagging as like Samsung Health or the Apple Watch. So if that's something that bothers you, you don't have to worry about this just as much.
And you can turn that off too.
Yes, that is true. But the point being, this is more of like a passive thing, which I actually kind of prefer. I just want to see like my sleep tracking, you know, my beats per minute with my heart, general health kind of knowledge without having to, like when I'm getting into the app, like having to swipe through all of the different health and metrics and things like that. It's very much marketed to someone like me. Not to say that it's a heavier guy who isn't really into activity, because it does measure your activity, but it's kind of it's just more of like an overall view of everything that's going on with your body. Now, I know that with the RingConn smartwatch or Smart Ring 2, that it's bringing sleep apnea detection. Which
is
really
it?
cool.
I hadn't heard that.
Yes. So I don't know.
That's cool.
What else is there? But that is one of the things that they're bringing, and I'm sure that's something that they've had to wait to do through like I don't know. Maybe it's not EPA certified, but again, with those kind of metrics, some of those actually require going through the government in order to get certified, FDA certification, right? So yeah,
right.
So I'm going to go ahead and kill Slappy here, and that'll get us back to where we should be. But wearing this for when I think the battery life is great. This is the only smart ring I've ever worn, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. Maybe you can. I know you've tested 2 or 3.
Yeah, so this is the second one that I've tested. I will be getting a third next week. I would say that of the 2 that I've tested, this is by far my favorite, but because that's because the first one was a freaking dumpster fire. But yeah, I definitely I enjoy it, and I think like just generally health tracking, I enjoy knowing where my body is. I'm a bit of a self-professed data nerd. So like any data that I can get that shows me like, oh, I slept for 7 hours and 36 minutes last night, you know, stuff like that. I definitely like having that data available, because I think it also depends like, you know, I was talking with Jaime Rivera about specifically about Garmin's body battery. I'm sorry?
He's an avid runner. He's definitely more of a Garmin guy.
Yes. But I was talking to him about the body battery from Garmin the one time, and he was just like, he stopped using the body battery because he found out that it would like affect his mood. Like if he woke up and his body battery was at like 50 or something like that, he'd be like, oh, well, I guess today's just going to suck. And then like the rest of the day would suck. And so, but I told him, I'm like, but you see, when I wake up and I see my body battery is at 26, I say challenge accepted.
Different strokes for different folks with the same information. And I should say that with sleep tracking, I mean, I could bring up the camera again, but in the app, it does give you like a lot of different smartwatch and things that are a competitor to this. Shows you like your deep sleep, your REM sleep, and then your whatever the lighter sleep is. So it does break that down for you, which is nice. So this is I'll go so far as to say that this is a product that I would purchase for myself. At the right size.
Well, right. That's definitely a consideration. But I mean, the $259 price point is very attractive. I think if they could massage it down to about $200, that would be about where I would like start really considering it. I don't know why the extra $50 just kind of throws me, but it does. But
if you consider that they're bringing out the RingConn smartwatch or Smart Ring 2, I just can't say any product names today. The Smart Ring 2,
right?
Maybe eventually, if they continue to carry those alongside each other, in the same way
Yeah.
that like manufacturers will offer last year's, like Apple does with the
Yeah,
previous
if there's like a discount
smartphone,
involved, that would
right?
be cool.
Exactly. Which
But
makes a
yeah.
lot of sense, and I think at $199, honestly, this would be a steal. But I feel like even at $259, it's pretty good when I'm comparing it against a smartwatch. Which,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes, it's nice
Which-
to have. It is nice to have the screen for the smartwatch, but at the same time, you know, you've got the bulk on your wrist, like you can see with yours, which is considerably more expensive. It's $649.
Right.
You know, this is exactly the kind of fitness tracker and that works perfectly for me, especially with the 7-day battery life. Now, would it be better if it was even longer? Maybe that's something that'll come with time. Yeah, but I think a week is definitely very usable.
And I think a week also has that nice roundness to it. Like, oh, it's Sunday, I need to charge my ring.
Absolutely.
You know, because like, you know, especially with like a lot of, you know, tech, if you don't charge it every day, you kind of lose track as to when you need to charge it. You know, especially with like smartwatches, you'll be like, oh shoot, I'm down to 10%. I guess I need to stop everything and charge this now, you know, as opposed to like something with like a day, you know, every day you plug it in when you go to bed, you know, or something like that. So a week is a very nice round figure. So like
my brain tends to kind of work in equally divided things anyway.
Yeah.
Well, a week or 5,
month,
10,
or
15, 20 a month. Yes. Or, you know, 60, 30, but if you're talking about time, like the things that make it easier to do math, and at that same time, easier to, like you're saying, remind yourself of when it's time to recharge your smart ring, because it can just be a day that you set.
Yeah. But for now, I like, any final overall thoughts that you
I think you know, we'll just go through over the things that I love about it. Nicely made, light. I forget that I'm wearing something that's actually a piece of electronics. It just feels like a ring. So comfortable. Seems very durable. You know, obviously I haven't worn it for a year, but so far, I mean, I have no blemishes on it. The app is good from what I've seen so far. And it does actually motivate me to be more active, because I look at that and I'm like, oh, fat ass, you need to get up and do more. Without
you get your mom popping up and saying, for just 1 minute, could you please go walk around? Would it kill you?
So I don't think there's you know, at least for me, a better endorsement than saying I would buy one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That is definitely, I mean, especially in our line of work, that is a very ringing endorsement.
And stay tuned for a review on something else coming very soon.
Yeah.
So
that's fun. But all right, so let's go ahead and wrap up this review. If you want to pick one up, there will be a link in the show notes. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that bell, go to patreon.com/benefit of the doubt if you want some extra bonus Patreon exclusive stuff. And for now, I just want to thank you for watching and for giving us the benefit of the doubt. Oh, hi there. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, then you obviously liked what you saw. So why not take it a few small steps further? How about you drop a thumbs up on this video and maybe hit that subscribe button?
And while you're there, move that pointer over a few pixels and click the bell. All of that will ensure that we get noticed on the YouTubes, and we can make more of these videos just for you.
And if you want to go even a little bit further, you can head over to patreon.com/benefit of the doubt and sign up for as little as just $2 per month. And for that, you'll get early access to our videos and some bonus content that we don't show on the main channel.
Plus, we're cooking up new perks and benefits all the time. So go to patreon.com/benefit of the doubt and sign up today.
That's patreon.com/benefit of the doubt. And as always, we thank you for watching and for giving us the benefit of the doubt.